when it comes down to the third map, Rondo.
Yeah, so the first time when we loaded into this lobby, it went through the Rinjun, then it went just between Jotin and the stadium. This time we're going a very northern line, so we are going to be crossing through stadiums. A few teams will hot drop down there. Test track at the Neox factory, again another hot drop. So we actually are going to unlock Jadena City. We're going to unlock Meiran, and then a very, very little one at Lohu Zing. That little mark as the plane's wing is about to cross it is another good spot for a few teams. Yes, you've got this water in between, but it's not that hard to rotate around. So there is some great spots you can drop. It's so easy to loot here, and you usually could do it without somebody pressing up your rear end and telling you to move on.
Isons going in. Nicely driving on the road, crashing into the bamboo fence, and now looking to reload. Not a single piece of utility on the player, just looking to grasp the bare minimum for a decent gunfight. Although armoring up, we do have a lot of magazines, but no guns to be currently lying on the ground, at least none that would be as comfortable that you would want them to. Still players dropping in the meanwhile, and these are going to be two, especially we are already looking to confront each other.
There, the Phoenix and the We Are Ready squad is going to literally go to war as they quickly drop in locally. So how quickly are we going to get the first blood to get onto our feed? It looks like a very western zone as well. Oh, that is horrible as we still keep an eye on our second screen of the first gunfights that could come through. But that zone is going to cause a truckload of rotations, and the winner of this fight will have free pathway as well to quickly jump inside a zone as well.
Ooh, we're cutting it quite close here, and Phoenix, they were steps away from We Are Ready. Like we said, these two dropping together, it was a plan. They're looking to see who's better between the two. Although the first down we get to mention is going to be Dragons falling to the hands of Maestro's Cortera. Although, this is a battle we really want to look upon because, again, it's going to be the first one, the major one of teams, especially when it comes down to such as the Phoenix, and of course, We Are Ready.
Phoenix have the higher ground. They've got the height to play with. Meanwhile, it looks like that war is just below them. So they know the presence of the players are there. They're going to stalemate. They're going to slowly try and push into little corners, try and get some extra loot coming in as we drop into Hot 90 immediately. Holy Mal. This is one way to enter a fight. Straight into two teams getting a trade coming onto each other. This is also just outside a zone, up by the river as well as the GMO. Oh, hitting a couple of good shots as he gets a little bit of the Delulu squad down low.
Oh, Delulu, one for the down. Hot 90, still looking hot and ready to have you be steady. In the meanwhile, having them retreat a bit. The Hard Phoenix, we switch back to them as they're still having a bit of a fight against We Are Ready, and it seems like the ground position has changed. Earlier we saw the majority of Hard Phoenix taking it high. Now they're going to be on the low end, although one of these players specifically still upholding it, Hisoka at the very top. But we can take a look at the kill feed as Dragons and Maestros are going eye for eye constantly, each player of the team falling one to another. These might be two teams almost eradicating each other.
I love the double stack that Phoenix are going for. They're making sure they've got players so they can get the trade easily. However, one good nade could be all that it takes, and as much as an SMG is a powerful weapon to go and play with, it doesn't have the same amount of range as demonstrated by Chewy from the Hot 90s, able to get a drop on to Delulu. These two hot drops are going to be powerful. The shotgun is going to land 2 shots and is going to get the drop to come through.
Get those bullets back in, Chewy. You're going to be closely confronted. Hot 90s, they're feeling the pressure, but they're not going to be breaking under it as he comes out with another. And We Are Ready has eliminated the Phoenix, while also Hot 90s have found themselves the Lulu. That's 2 teams within the first 5 minutes, and this shotgun being a real damage dealer.
Team 6th position, Delulu out. The Phoenix in 8th. out. That is a major upset to kick things off. This mid-battle is still got a lot of anchors, a lot of changes that could come through. So this is huge to get it, but also you have to realize that Dragon Kiss and Maestros have been fighting as well, hence why Dragon Kiss are down 2 players right now. And this is a disastrous start for these 3 teams.
That it is. Jiri, he's trying to seek windows, find any opportunity, an open door, maybe a bit of an easy shot. Where does it lie? But 2 players from Maestros, 2 from Dragons, we can really see that they've been keeping it on equal standards constantly. And also taking a look at 1453, who have also been under fire for quite a while now. A lot of damage brought upon them. A bit of a revive needed for Fairlit. As in the meanwhile, Mira seems to be the main perpetrator of this absolute demolition. And also another one joining will be Eniox as a down comes out long range with a shotty, which has been really persistent throughout these teams. 1453, Mira and Eniox have an all about between each other.
Yeah, Mira getting a huge molly putting in, and we can see that the 1453s drop to the floor. Not much you can do when you're standing in flames, but Maestro's 2v2 fight against the Dragons still persists through. And who would have thought all this action happening under phase 1? 3 hot drops as the 1453s will get eliminated. Mira picking up 4 kills to kick things off. But this is the next action. Dragon Kiss versus Maestros. It's just short. It's just short at the moment.
Some damage. Minor. Nothing major just yet. Karabos can nicely back off into a corner, get his HP back up. Cortera that are challenging Jamu here, and it doesn't seem to be a worthy challenge for Dragons, as both of these teams, or rather duos in this case, are looking to take out at least one so the other 2 can push up in an advantage.
31, you could just see on the map, 31 making their way to Younggu. And they too can hear all this gunfights. They're not going to push in, they're not going to do anything. They've got a good height position so they can third party off this. A lot of both of these teams are playing within cover, but at this point in time, they don't know that there is the risk of that 31 gaming rotation that could create an upset.
Ooh, Balcony Eagles taking some, and we can see that there's a lot of teams colliding between each other, but it's some survivors that are resting in peace. Balcony Eagles taking on 31, which aren't going to be having themselves such a restless approach towards Younggu, but a bit of an outside battle. Jamu's still holding this extremely patiently.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen as much patience from anybody from Jamu. This is amazing. I don't have this patience. I can't hold this angle for way too long because I'm worried I'm going to get shot in the rear. But the patience persists. We've also seen 31 rotate away. They got attacked, I believe it was already. I'm not 100%. Don't quote me on that. But nonetheless, the shot started to go in. But Jamu, no helmet left. Definitely no helmet left. Now a headshot could be enough to get him down, as that's the shot he wanted. Now the Dragons want to flush out the last remaining player. The damage is going to come in. That nade just going to land short. But Jiri pushes in, goes aggressive, knows he's going to hit the right shots as he gets it down, and finally the stalemate is over.
There it was. The scale that was needed. The second one player gets down, it would have completely turned the tides on one of these 2 duos. And that's why the patience was there from Dragon's Kiss. It worked out for them. They got the double kill. They claimed control over Younggu's side. And in the meanwhile, they also got themselves a bit of an area to now contest as teams such as Balkan Eagles seem to be approaching their position.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting when the Eagles have heard those gunshots. Of course, they're going for that hill, which has that beautiful oversight. Like, you could just see them in the distance with our markers. They're going to overlook it all. Dragon's going to take advantage of the rest of the looting here, see what they can pick up, but they're going to be walking into a gunfire of Eagles, prepped, ready, and probably sighting these guys.
Oh, 90 have found themselves outside of the zone, which definitely isn't going to be the best, but I don't think anyone's currently holding them outside of it themselves. They can just nicely get in safe and sound. Although Balkan Eagles, there's going to be some teams going off, and 31 eliminated, but what I believe to be 55 Esports who are back in their game and prime time, as we can take a look at how Balkan Eagles here are completely holding down the remaining Dragons on the very edge.
They're also getting rid of all rotation. They want to make sure that the Dragons have to use all of their health, all of their, basically pinch them inside this building and inside the compound so they can get these easy 2 kills. And I don't think they realize it is just 2 kills that they are looking to claim. But critically as well, I said earlier how this is a very flat map. We're going to the one part of the map that is not flat.
All right. And you know what time of the show it is? We can't keep them hidden forever. Anyone that's currently watching, if you want to have a secret code to enter in for the giveaway, right now you can go in the link that's displayed in the Twitch chat. Vault for Victory. That will be VAULTFORVICTORY. Vault for Victory. Claim it in, get yourself points, and a better chance of winning the giveaway.
Remember, $2,000. Bucks, 2,000 of PUBG coins is gonna massively help, but oh shots! Oh shots! I'm sorry, but you saw the player drop down. That was a nice spin to next week as Hisense is just dropping in onto the points of the AMW squad. If there's a replay and we have that angle, I would love to see the snipe out of midair.
That was unfortunate. No replays for it, but it was. We were there to witness it. We were there to witness it.
It was in the feed. Hisense stuck inside this building. They also have a team down south as well. I believe the Blues is the... I'm not sure which blue that is, and I can't work out which team it is, but nonetheless, AMW also being pinched from north as Mira is slowly making their way to this compound. We're going to see a lot of teams try and take advantage of this safe space, the buildings. But in doing so, when everyone crowds to the same area, you don't have a lot of rotation chances. And when the zone finally comes in and overtakes that compound, it is near impossible to break out.
Impossible. You said it. It's going to be a difficult one, but let's see what we're going to have AMV pull off earlier. They were constantly just the ones catching strays. Throughout the entirety of today, AMW have been just numbers on the kill feed for others. I think they're looking to have some numbers be delivered on their own side. Although 2 players to be gone, 1 kill for themselves. Let's change things around. Currently playing it safe, but look at by the amount of teams they are surrounded.
Yeah, there is everybody wanting this compound. It is the biggest one in this zone. So again, as no surprise, you want to position yourself where you have 1, additional loot, 2, it is a power position. You've got cover, you've got small angles that you can play off better than somebody on the outside. As the next zone pops, this compound will remain in place, which means we are probably going a little bit south than we have from last time.
Right. Hafen mit Waffen holding down the hillside. One of the players from Hot 90s being caught upon it, but I don't think is going to be able to execute on it, mostly because of the trees blocking that line of sight. Take a look at the zone. A lot of teams have made instant headway for it, mostly because they do want to get these power positions, and again, these long angles they can work off in the very end stage, while others look to not engage and stick outside.
So War, Ineox, and 90 will roll up to be able to overlook Heme Town. The thing is, Heme Town is still in zone, a lot of it, so a lot of teams will still also want to take control of the town, make sure that they can get a solidified position, because if this zone does go north, hey, you now have still great cover and you can bunker down for a little bit longer again.
Hot 90s going in it. Hot and wheels, that's what they need. They have a need for speed, and although they have racked up 4 kills, I'm only concerned how they're going to be able to keep themselves alive in the current contest. Taking shots at 55 is a bit of a death sentence, if I do call it so myself. But they're looking to risk it all just to take out the major team leader.
You know what? Get one kill onto them, I would be happy. That's what I would say. I've seen similar stories. Affinity was a very low-level tier 4 squad. Took out, I think it was one of the members of Furia, and they BM'd him badly. But it's the pride. If you take out the leaders or anybody near the top, you 100% have to, and that is not a bad care package. The ATEX not being picked up, I am surprised.
Especially for this map. Out of all maps, I feel like the ATEX would come in really handy for this one specifically. And I imagine a similar scope was used here as Full Rush, the final player, trying to carry on the burden of all of his teammates taken out. That's another one for the dust being bitten. 34 still alive, averaging about 3.4 players per team.
In terms of positioning, I'm loving Hot 90's position here. They have that rock. We've just seen a few players playing over it. They've got, as I said, sightline galore. They can play distance. It's hard for an opponent to climb up that hill. They now have to go down south to Mulate and have to fight him. Chewy also has a sightline down south as well. So there is angles galore that Hot 90s can defend. And so hence they're in a great position. But I don't think they're going to keep it, no. Not for long, and it looks like also the compound not in play.
Such a shame. Such a great angle here, but it gets put to shame here. Hot 90 is going to need to move. And I mean, we can see the midpoint. We can see a lot of teams here trying to regather. But it seems like the town up there, Heme Town, is going to be a huge area of absolute battle.
It's going to be an area of battle, but I feel it's going to be a lot of blue zone fighting because you got AWM holding the edge. You've just seen as well, I believe, I'm not sure which team that is, but it's B and Lee and his squad are able to occupy the east side of the southern part of the town. So that as well will create that blockade. Meanwhile, Mulate rotated quite nicely. He is very, very close to a very hot-headed and hot team of the Iniox squad. And that's something he will have to be mindful of, but slowly and carefully, Mira just giving away the location. Oh, and Mortis as well.
Ooh. 90s, they found a player 55. AMW are going to be finally taking it upon themselves to try and deliver some finishing blows, but a coup de grace won't be given, as right now, while the one down, it seems to have ticked off and angered Mira as they throw some nades, hot potatoes, blow right into the hands of AMW and eliminated. Now Mira actually putting up the performance expected of them since the very beginning.
Mira just nailed that perfectly. Just a little bit of body giveaway, and that just gave him a free advantage. ASM dropped down, taken away, and now they are out again. But we said compound fighting is not over. It's far from over because Full of the Mangoes have to push into high sense. They have to push into their building, but they know Mira has occupation of the other. Why not go to a weaker team? As that nade's not going to land where he wants it. And they're going to have to push. You have to push in now. You made so much commitment. You made so much noise. Sam gets the knock. Knocks out the way of the nade. Is able to get the second, but will get traded out very quickly. Bake able to get the last. And that's a wipe. High sets taken away.
Holy, this has been spelling bad news for a lot of teams. And for the Mangoes, barely getting out alive. 2 players on the down really relied on Bakerino and Daddy. And well, he surely is so. Because right now he's been carrying, he's been playing with children. 55 Esports, though, still not giving up. Hot 90s took down one of their players, and they're fighting an all-out war. We talk about war, they seem to be losing. We are ready, not anymore. Balkan Eagles taking in a very good run in this map, and they have already gotten themselves 7 kills, looking to make it 8.
The Eagles hunting it down, able to pop the tire. Get it done, only down to a slither of health for war to stay alive, and Annihilation will go onto their side. This is horrible. This is horrible for War. They had map control, they had map position, but then the Eagles just came from the rear, forcing them out in the open as Spooks gets a little spooked by the shots fired at him.
Idiox going for the tail. 55 Esports not liking how they played in the final zone earlier, and now looking for a bit of vengeance as Mira are also racking up not only 8 kills for them, but in the meanwhile 4 players to be alive, which is absolutely ridiculous with how aggressive they've been playing. Hot 90s joining in for the side of Idiox to maybe double down on the current team leaders and the scoreboard top players, as right now 55 Esports are going to have to settle down on how well they want to challenge some of these teams. A lot of downs, maybe a bit of finish, taking some shots back. Hot 90s are going to have a bit of delivery, free packaging, and the like with it. A second to follow. Mira in the meanwhile going for mangoes. But Team Mira, look at them. They're on this roof, really knowing what to expect from mangoes.
Yeah, they've got a little wrapped around position. They're trying to play up with Mangoes. So when Mangoes push, they push, and that kind of back and forth mindset. But right now, Mangoes still hiding inside of that compound. It's a slow-moving blue zone, so no stress from both sides. But I feel Mira's got this power position over Mangoes. They definitely can capitalize on their rotation. The question is, when do you push if you're Mango? Because up north, you've got the Eagles, and you've got a 1 remaining member of War.
With 1. We are ready out from the zone unexpected, but there's an exchange, and out of nowhere Mangoes will be wiping them clean. Maybe saving Balkan for another. One of their players seem to have been quite pinched, but Team Mira now even giving them an extra bit of pressure to apply with, although a lot of players are going to be right now forcefully in this open field, having to just go about it and taking any opportunity to find yourself with kills, although that exposes your position and allows others to take care of you in the midst of it. As Mira, that's another one for Hot 90s. Balkan's onto Mira. See how it exchanges. It's a third-party haven.
It is a third-party haven. Nobody's able to put it in, but the crucial point is there's no flushes just yet. We're finally seeing Kea getting flushed from Fakens, and that's the first of many. There's a lot of players who are down on the floor needing to be revs, so that could be huge, as we can see in full. Mangoes taken away as the Eagles come in and swoop below. It's a 10-kill game for the Eagles.
Whoa, Mira and Eagles, these are the 2 teams you want to look out for when it comes to map number 3 here. And look at them go! More than 10 kills, they're already at 11. Looking to replicate fantastic performances, and Mira are not stopping either. 55 going to be last down to their final few players. And Spooks here with 5 of their own. Top 4, here we come. And it's all going to be down to Ineox, Balkan, 55, and Mira.
55 down to 1 left. They're our current leader, but we said they could have a poor game and still be all right. But Mira's getting up and close, oh, bad, trying to dip, dive, get anything he can around that boulder, but he still knows there's a couple more players onto the other side. He doesn't want to drop yet. He has found himself in such a great position, an opportunity that could benefit him to the max, but it's about when do you push? You know there's a player on the other side that's being rezzed. And once he's up, the push could come in. The push as the flying nades will start to go up. The flash will stun. Spooks, do you go around? Do you go through? He decides to go around.
Oh!
Times it right, and the Eagles are out. Mira's out, my apologies.
Oh, Spooks! That flick is unholy, sinful, some may say. And we need a moment of silence for the Spooks glazing, as he himself has accumulated 9 kills. Looking to carry this team on his own. He has been a team wiper, the true destroyer. But before creation comes destruction, that's where Balkan Eagles are stepping in. Although they've been a bit rusty, especially when it comes down to even as if they have gotten 15, 16 kills for themselves. Idiox have been waiting. They've been patient like 55 before, learning from their mistakes. And now they have 4 players against Balkans 2.
Still not done. Ineox will end this game with 10 placement points if they win, plus 6 kills. So 18, up for grabs. But the peppering will start to come from the side as slowly but surely Iniox start to press up. Just a little bit of smokes here and there to keep themselves safe, but the first shot is going to land.
What?
Second shot's going to land from Spooks. And this is far from over. Make it 17 kills for the Eagles. They could look to take an 18-kill game. But it's against 2. Spooks will have to heal, they have to reset, and now Iniox know this is a team not to be reckoned with.
Smokes down, taking cover. They need a bit of a reset, get themselves back in the headspace, as now they're facing a possible victory. Falcons, this could be their way to that booked second spot possible. 17 kills to be 19 in the best case scenario. With a winner chicken dinner, they've racked themselves up almost a 30 points in just one map. That is ridiculous.
It could be huge, but I love what the Eagles are doing. They're not separating themselves. They're keeping themselves together because if there is a trade, they know they can win that fight. What they don't know here is that the Iniox squad have separated themselves so much. They'll give away their location by driving, but they're looking for the compound. They're looking to take control, play with a safety net, and now the Vinny's giving away his location. This is going to massively help the Eagles.
Not like this. They've given it away, but currently, Iniox are starting to close in. Look at how spread they're playing. If they allow these 2v1 positions, Balkan Eagles might be having themselves a lot easier of a time. That's what we said even earlier between, I believe it was Dragons and just another team that constantly had these 2v2s, and Patience ended up overcoming Confidence. This is the exact position we have now, and it's going to be down to how well you can spot yourself out, especially when it comes down to location-wise.
Yeah, you also have to note as well, utility for both squads will be favorable and good. I think Iniox might be a little lower after them having a small, well, moving away from the compound, but that's going to be a great start. Ooh. Lawrence able to get the first, and now if you are going to be the Eagles, you start pushing up. You start with the confidence. You know you can win this. You've been winning every single fight, and Iniox split strategy has not helped them. They're going to keep the last one player of the Iniox squad down. Play it as a safety net. Now Spooks know where Reneza is located, and slowly the Eagles can crush.
Oh my god, how did this happen, Iniox? You had a 4-player lead, but you spread so much that you stretched Balkans, completely ripped you apart. One player after another, they could not prevail, and now Balkan are going to be threading the needle. They know about the last one. Look at the grade, they're just simply peeking, checking, trying to confirm it for themselves, but they're not trying to push into it. They know the lead they have, they know the position they're given, and they're not going to be putting it to risk, although that name was a small one, and that back shot out from Rinzer will be taken down. Lawrence is now delivering it to a 1v1 with heavy damage, bringing him down to around 50. And Iniox still have the opportunity, and I don't hear the fat lady singing just yet.
No, definitely not down to that 1v1. Again, both sides don't want to be taking away those free kills. Now they do. Iniox taking away the last of the Eagle squad. But with one player up, it does massively help them. They can feed some information. I'm surprised Spooks hasn't done the full flush. The reason is, that player's on the other side, not wanting to take that risk. So who's going to get that first sight line? And it looks to be Spooks got the information first. Or Reneza just not able to get the peak just yet, but they're slowly encroaching onto each other. This could be a matter of the right place, right time, the right peak as they're going up to the rock. Oh my god, Bob. This is going to be a battle of peaking.
Oh no, swing or be swung. Who knows the rule better? Right now, it's timing and timing alone. A bit of a distraction to utility for the final efforts. And this is no complimentary kill. It's the one to decide who truly ends up being the winner. Coming right around it, they're confronted. That's going to be cover. A lot of damage onto Spooks. He takes it heavily, but needing a bit of a back off. Rinzera still trying to chase him down. This is like a Scooby-Doo episode. They just don't know where to go. They're still sticking on the 180 aspect of each of the rock. They're on the opposite ends, and they know about it. But the HP won't be recovered so easily. A single bullet here for Rizera as he's looking to chase up on it, but he's given his sweet, precious time. And right above you, he doesn't realize it. Not missing those shots, no! Oh, Iniox could have had it there. Just not connecting is the greatest aspect of them all. Trying to climb still up, but I think it's spotted out by Spooks here, who's simply covering it on Bay.
Spooks is doing everything he can. Every flash that's gone out, he's quickly rotated around. So that will be the reason he's able to do it. But slowly, Spooks is going to have to re-push these lines. Zone is favoring them both as we head into phase 9. We're into overtime. Those emergency covers also helping. You have another area that you can push around, but Idiot's going to go from the top. It's going to be from above! It's done and dusted!
Oh!
Idiox takes it back from a 4v2. They slowly able to take the win, but it shouldn't have got to a 1v1.
It shouldn't have. It should not have. A 4v2.